you bring something to eat and something to drink. Well, according to the National Insurance Bureau, looking at crime, car thefts are on the rise all across the United States with over 1 million cars. That's a lot stolen last year alone. Now, thefts were up about 7% in 2022 compared to the year before, making last year it's one of the worst on record since 2008. And as you know, we've seen the problem getting worse here. So what does your insurance cover? Isn't covering? Do you know what you're paying for? Joining us this afternoon is the national insurance expert Dante Weston. He's senior founding partner at Donaldson and Weston. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me on this important topic.
Well, I've had a car since I was 15, so I can read minds here. What we do is they say, what's the insurance going to cost? Liability is this, comprehensive is this, and we say, I'm going the cheapest route. You work with people all the time in this field. Is that what they usually say, why they don't have comprehensive?
Yeah, they say they can't afford it typically, and that's a real reason. And then unfortunately, when something happens, people come to us and they say, well, we think we had full coverage. And in, for example, the state of Georgia, Alabama, as well as Florida, the most important insurance that covers you in the case of theft is actually comprehensive coverage, and that is not required in any of those states. It's extremely important for theft, damage from storms, etc. So we really have to make sure we get it.
Okay, I just want to be sure. Full coverage, that's the term that we've usually used. Is that not the same as comprehensive? Is that two different coverages?
Yeah, we get that, again, we get that question all the time.
Okay.
They think they have full coverage, but full coverage usually is minimum, maybe some of the coverages, but comprehensive is not required, and that's what covers you in the case of theft. And theft is rampant across the country right now.
And in the past, the likelihood of having your car stolen was a lot less now, and so going the cheaper route made a lot more sense. But now there's a chance your car is going to get stolen. We have some video. You guys roll that video for us. We actually had some car thieves caught on camera going through a neighborhood. What about when they break into your car, Dante, break windows, break locks? Is that covered, and under what kind of insurance?
It would not be covered unless the car owner has comprehensive coverage. And just to give a little idea of how prevalent this is, Georgia is actually the 6th highest state in the entire country for car thefts. And Alabama has seen a 7% rise this year. Some areas of the country, if you're traveling, are seeing up to 40% increases from 2022 to 2023.
Oh my goodness, you're hitting me with some numbers, and I live here. I wasn't aware that it was that bad. You touched on this already, and much of our area, especially on this side of the river, is in a flood plain. What if you wake up and your car has been flooded, or there's been a storm and the tree has fallen on it? Which is the type of insurance that covers that?
Again, we come back to comprehensive coverage. And in the case of damage from a storm, we highly recommend contacting the police, even if it's not a theft, as well as documenting the damage, taking photos, videos of the damage, and then also contact your insurance company immediately thereafter to start filing a claim, because there's probably a waiting period. You might not be compensated for 30 days or even longer, so it's good to get the ball rolling.
Okay, am I leaving anything out? What would you say to someone who wants the best information, since I have you right there from an insurance expert, as to how I need to be handling my business with my car insurance?
Absolutely. The number one thing we recommend is, of course, get prices, but don't necessarily go with the cheapest carrier. Take a look at the background of your carriers. There are websites online that rate them, the quality of how they actually handle the claims. It's one thing to save money in the front end, but if you're out at $10, $20, $30, $50,000 car and they won't pay the claim, that's obviously not very good coverage. So you got to balance not only the cost of the insurance, but how good that company is.
Okay, thank you so much for being with us. A lot to think about, Dante.
Thank you.
Well, coming up on midday, his star is rising from Opelika.